Good day. This is Bill Shanaman. I'm going to welcome you to my New York, New Haven, and Hartford Railroad, Hartford Division, run between Hartford and New Haven, and a Valley branch that ran between Hartford and Old Saybrook, Connecticut. It's been about 7 years since I posted an update on my overall layout, and let's go ahead with the tour. This is a double deck 35 by 25 foot layout with a helix. Runs on NCE DCC. And we'll start up here at the north end of the railroad at Hartford Yard. This is the Hartford industrial area. This is HO scale, by the way. Got New England produce and Connecticut beef. Gas station there. There's the pens. The Haven Yard office. And the New Haven Yard. This is a 21 foot long yard, 13 tracks. And I've had a lot of modifications here since the last video. All the paperwork. My railroad runs on a timetable train order car card system with a fast clock set to 5.5 to 1. So this is all the classification yard up here in Hartford. And this is the north end of the railroad, so everything stops here. And we'll go over here to the East Hartford engine facility. This is Haggart Scrap Metal. There's an Esso tank farm down here. And there's the engine facility at that end. There's a freight offices and a National Baker's Chocolate Company down there. This right here is my work area / dispatcher's panel. And it's not really a panel, it's just an office. And there's our timetable and associated paperwork. Compliments of Kevin Sparks. Everything on the layout has instructions and paperwork and maps. So when you come down here for an operating session, you really shouldn't get lost. Wasn't that way 7 years ago. Okay. And under the Hartford Yard is the New Britain staging yard. This is 6 tracks and it's about 18 foot long. This is open staging, nothing special about it. I'm not going to scenic this. That was my air conditioner coming on. Car cards, these are our timetables. And we're going to go into the main room now. Up here, this is the memorial area for all the model railroaders that have passed that used to operate on my railroad. Underneath is the throttle canal. And photo by, or lithograph by Fred Carlson, one of his paintings. And just a fun board. decoupage of some fun times here my wife put together. The all-important coffee dispenser and the beverage holder. I'll go into the main room. In the upper level is the Valley Branch main line that ran from Hartford south down to Old Saybrook. And we'll actually start over here on this side. This is where it comes out from Hartford and goes to the first town of Wethersfield. So we'll start in the upper deck since that's the branch line. Trains came out here. And we're headed south. Here's a friend of mine and myself catching pollywogs when we were kids. This is the Route 5 bridge. So the little water feature here. This guy's trying to catch a fish. And we come into the town of Wethersfield. This is where I actually grew up, in Wethersfield, Connecticut. This is the station track, a main line, a siding. Let's see, in here we have Valentine beer. Back there we got a root beer stand and a diner. This is the Wethersfield station. Guys chatting. This is Church Street. Runs up there. There's a Carvel's ice cream. For those of you in New England, you know what that is. And right behind in the background is the old Wethersfield High School, which was torn down in 1952 to make way for the new town hall. We have Grey Rock Bottling, Wethersfield Lumber, and Valley Coal up on this end. This is still kind of a work in progress. Of course, the whole railroad is. Beaverbrook, and this is a map and instructions showing the locations and what's in town and how many cars you can drop, etc. So now we'll keep going south. And I haven't decided what to do in here yet, but there's going to be some buildings back there. I'm going to put a new bridge in here. This is the Silas Deane Highway. And for those of you who are wondering, this is actually the system map. What I modeled, 48 to 53. I'm actually in 1951, 52, that era. Last part of steam, first part of diesel. The green dots are the Valley Branch, which is the upper level. The yellow dots are the lower level, runs from Hartford to New Haven, and eventually to New York City. There's a helix in between, and the New Britain staging yard comes out of Berlin on the lower level. I'll show you that in a little bit. And if you follow the upper line, that line is the line to the next town, which would be Rocky Hill. And I have to explain something about my upper level. It was designed to be folded on itself so you can get more running time. So there's an upper Valley Branch and a lower Valley Branch. Each has its own switcher. One comes out of Hartford, the other one comes out of New Haven. And they meet in the middle in Middletown. We'll get there eventually. So actually the Hartford yard is there. Comes out of there, it goes around. This bridge is the top Valley Branch, which brings you into the town of Rocky Hill. The lower part is actually the south end of the Valley Branch. And that is New Haven. Or I'm sorry, that is Old Saybrook. And this is Old Saybrook as it is right now. I have some buildings standing in for the rail stations and stuff. But excuse me, this is the lower end. Here in Old Saybrook, we have Todd Printing, got a Shell station, some buildings going in. I haven't finished this area yet. Of course, you really never finish, but there it is. Up there's the Trap Rock Company and the town of Rocky Hill with its freight station. I haven't built the passenger station yet. And it goes into the other room through a tunnel, which is actually going to be tree covered, so you're not going to be able to see that. Now on the lower level here, this is Essex. This is where the Connecticut Valley Tourist Railroad steam train or riverboat starts in Essex, Connecticut. And of course, a work in progress. Okay, and we'll skip around here, and we come up in the back there, comes out of the wall. We're still headed south going to Middletown, and this is the biggest customer on the railroad. This is Hartford Rayon Company. It is now the Pratt & Whitney, or division of Pratt & Whitney, or United Technologies, I guess it is now. But on my railroad, it's still Hartford Rayon Company. We have Cesar Foods over there, Cleary Mill Works. There is the Swift Company, which is the Middletown Beef Company. And that building there was scratch built by one of my friends, Greg Long. This one here is an old Revell kit. I'm sure a lot of people will recognize it. I modified it a bunch. This is the Middletown, coming into Middletown. And this is the Middletown yard. And it's about 20 foot long too. It's 5 tracks. Well, actually 4 tracks in a main line. Back there we have Lowenthal Lumber. And yes, that says Stupid Assholes Plumbing Company. Your plumbing done by stupid assholes. Coming down here again. I'm working on this area. This is the King Brass. We have the A&P warehouse. Remington didn't only make rifles and ammunition. They made typewriters. And there's the Remington Company. And this is the Michael Caine Brick Company back here. We just started putting this in. And this is the south end of the Middletown yard. Stand-in station. Yeah, I know it's not the real one, but it's a stand-in. And then we go out, and this is where it doubles down, or loops over itself, or loops down on itself. It becomes the lower part of the upper level. And this is the Paramus-Higginham area, where the Connecticut Light and Power Company is. You see it comes down the hill. And there's a main and a passing siding here. And got some sheep just taking a break over there. There's a little farm, tobacco shed that's going to be built. Tobacco was big in New England at one time. Now I've got to come down into the Miramis area. Now we've changed direction, but we're still headed south. And there's the station, which is in the wrong spot because I forgot to put it back. It goes right there. I was working on the track back there. Had a problem with my Y switch. And that represents the Berlin branch. Stops dead back there, but it's great for turning cars. And this is the Cook's Quarry area. And we're still on the upper level, but we're on the lower part of the upper level. We're going to come into the town of East Haddam. Got a milk company in here, and there's a station, East Haddam. Some passengers waiting for the passenger train there. And we passed through there. Next town is Chester. And this is the Monsanto cardboard box factory. Coming down here is a little camping area off the end of the road down here. This is one of my control panels. One of my new places to put your car cards and stuff. Let's see. Oh my goodness. Got a couple of mooners. Moon the train when they go by. This is Beaver Brook Siding. It's a great place to meet trains. Right now, there's a work train parked here. And there's some Boy Scouts camping back there next to Beaver Brook. I haven't put the water in, obviously it would fall in through that hole. Next time we come into Deep River. Here's Deep River. Team Track, they usually do milk cars. And that's a scratch-built station. I love evergreen plastic. This is a real scene. This is Kirtland Street. There's the house on the hill. This is Tate's Cut, it's called. For those of you that go down to take the Essex ferry, or I'm sorry, the riverboat ride, this is where you come. And the train stops here too. And there's some folks up there just having fun, watching the trains. And this is represents a few more miles down the track, but there's a bridge that went over, the road went over the bridge, or over the railroad. All right, looky here, some more mooners. Just to give you an idea of the how I got that look is from these pictures. So that is this, with the house painted a different color. All right, now we go through the wall and come into the town of Essex. We've been here before. And, okay, I'm gonna lower the camera. And this is the exit from New Britain, which actually comes into Berlin. Here we have a Celestine Steel Company. This is the town of Newington. There's a cement company in Newington. Yes, I have taken a bunch of liberties on my railroad. At this point in time, they're constructing the Connecticut Turnpike, so that's my justification. Now when you come out of the Hartford yard, I'm going to take you back up. You go down through this hole in the wall, and you'll see 4 tracks. 2 tracks are the southbound mains. The 3rd track in is the Valley Branch. The 4th track in is a drill track. And when you come out of there, you go to my helix. And then you come into the town of South Hartford, which is here. This is my double track helix. And you come out down here to South Hartford. And this is where it begins the southward trip to New Haven, which is across the aisle. And this is now the lower level. This is Bushnell Park. We have one of my friends, Fogel Furniture, G. Fox and Company warehouse. There'll all be buildings in here when I get around to it. Of course, the Hartford passenger station is a piece of blue foam, but it works well to stand in. One of my friends, Greg Long, built this. I liked it. I haven't found a place to put it yet, so it's sitting here till the op session, which is next week, and then I'm going to have to move it so it won't get broken. But you come down through here, going through the town of Newington, headed south. And right here is the tower operator's station. He does the switching and stuff for aligning the tracks for the trains, Tower SS 175 and Signal Station Tower 102. He's responsible for those 2. The people that run that job say they like it a bunch. So, of course, you'll see a Y here. It's for turning trains. And back there you see the staging yard. And you can come out and go 2 directions here in Berlin. Right here we have the long sand and gravel. And that back track there goes to a 4-track staging yard hidden behind that backdrop that represents New York City, or the south end of the railroad. We'll come back here for a minute, and this is coming into the town of Meriden. Meriden was an industrial area, and there's a lot of real names here. Not necessarily the buildings, but the real names. Wilcox and Company, Flint Glass, Miller Company. It's a lot of glass and plumbing supplies. We had a Goodyear tire and rubber company down there. I think it was actually Firestone, but right now it's Goodyear. Armor Meat Plant. And another layout owner, a friend of mine, Bob Fultz. He has a Santa Fe, beautiful Santa Fe layout. And that was one of the buildings on his layout. I made it a industry for him. And we're going through the wall. The next town we come to is Wallingford. We got Heart Seeds, Brock's Candy, International Silver. That was actually a place my sister-in-law used to work before she retired. Sackett and Kane Drywall Company. They were one of the very first drywall companies in the United States. Started up in the late 1800s. And for those of you wondering how I get to anything that happens behind the wall, these buildings are removable, and I have access panels to them. They're just held on by a magnet. This is North Haven Junction. And we're going to come into the town and the other main yard, Cedar Hill Yard, which is only a fraction of what it really should be. But that is located right here. And this is the New Haven's tie plant that was in New Haven. There's a piggyback loading ramp back there. And you'll see some trains staged on the layout. And that's exactly what it's for. It's we're having an operating session. So, and this is the New Haven Yard. I'll stand back over here, coming up to the caboose storage area. And you'll see coming up is the Haven engine facility and passenger car storage. This is the diesel yard, and of course the roundhouse back there. This is a walkway that led to the railroad YMCA at Cedar Hill, and that goes into that corner right there. You'll see this loops back around to the other side, and actually the back track along the wall by New Haven goes to New York City. Excuse me. And that is a tour of my railroad. Hope you enjoyed it. Give me a thumbs up, hit that like button, subscribe if you can, and till next time, we'll see you later. Bye-bye.